Hello, life learners, and thanks so much for tuning in. Do you want to rise to new heights? Do you want to be known for nothing ever getting in your way? Do you want to succeed financially, personally, and professionally? Well, we're guessing your answers are yes, yes, and yes. So please stay tuned. You're in the right place. Good day, everyone, on our YouTube viewers and our audio listeners. Thank you, and welcome to episode 294 of the Business of Life Masterclass podcast. We are fully engaged in season 8, and it's wonderful that everyone's here. For listeners and viewers both, we ask you to think about challenges and how you turn them into accomplishments. You know that Barb and I are all about exploring how people continue to go and grow. So today's episode is no different on the Business of Life Masterclass. It's all about how to position yourself for success, luxury, and good, sound decisions now and in your future. So hello again, everyone. Debbie Lundberg, Performance and Mindset Coach with Presenting Powerfully.
Hi, everyone. Barb Zant, Media Sales Leader and founder of the lifestyle brand and blog, The Stay at Work Mom. Debbie, who is our guest who can show us ways to get centered while rising up?
Can't wait to tell you, Barb. Get ready for this. She is so accomplished. I am going to read a lot of accolades here. She is not accolades, accomplishments. She is a CFP, a CRPC, APMA, and a BFA. The alphabet soup of life she's turned into winning. I can tell you that right now. Winning, yes. She's climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. She applies the same resilience to guiding clients through life's financial peaks and valleys. She is a certified financial planner. You're probably not surprised by that. And this, though, will surprise you. And how cool is this? A behavioral financial advisor. She looks at things differently. And she founded LaRocco and Associates and an Ameriprise private wealth advisory practice in 2014 after more than a decade in her industry. She's got a lot of experience, and her all-female team empowers women, get that, all-female team empowers women and families with this holistic planning that blends strategy with empathy. She's been recognized by Forbes Best in State and Top Women Wealth Advisors, along with Ameriprise's Circle of Success and Client Experience Awards. Off the clock, though, she finds balance in yoga, travel, learning French, oui. So please welcome private wealth advisor, Kari LaRocco.
Wow, what an honor, I feel like. I think we told you everything, but really, thank you for helping me make my dream of being a podcast guest a reality. I'm a raving fan of the show and of you too, so thank you for having me.
I'm Kari, and it's an honor to have you as a guest today. So what is one thing that is not in your bio that is interesting or cool, but just a little tease for right now, and we will elaborate more at the end of this episode?
So I thought about this question a lot, and I was thinking, this is something unique for me that I don't know a whole lot of people who have experienced this specific thing. That I moved my senior year of high school. A lot of people move around growing up quite a bit, but this was like kind of a big time of year for me to move. And this is, in order to stay in touch with people, it was like you needed a horse and write a letter and drop it off at the post. And so we moved to Spring Hill, Florida from Huntsville, Alabama, and I played soccer, and so I ended up playing in college. There was a girl on my team who was so incredibly good that we would have college scouts come to our games. And I ended up getting recruited and ended up playing in college at a small school in North Carolina. And all my friends went to Auburn in Alabama. And for me, what I realized is it is so important being a connector. I love connecting people and I love staying connected. And I realized full circle, I have so many of my friends from growing up who are clients now, and friends from college, and then parents of my friends from growing up. And it just brings me so much joy to think of at the time, it was such a huge decision for my family. It like split up my whole family to make, and how I was like, I'm just cutting my hair off and wearing Doc Martens, and I'm going to be, and you won't know me, I'm in all black. No, this was a really important full circle decision that I get to continue on my life and continue those relationships with. So
Well, we can't wait to hear a little more on that later. So, Kari, you were invited on the Business of Life Masterclass podcast for how you guide yourself and others in all peaks and valleys of this wonderful life we all get to live. So, since you have listened to our podcast, please share in one or two sentences what specifically made you want to be on the Business of Life Masterclass show, please.
Well, I love that people give these nuggets of helpful information. So you just need to take like one or two things to change. And like even you two from like the beginning of the episodes to now, Barb, now you're working out in the morning and getting up earlier.
Yep.
And that was a goal for you. And then Debbie drinking more water before working out. Like those things that you just keep hearing from people that make them successful. And then you know a lot of these people too. So people that you're already connected with that you learn about, you learn their habits and then you implement them into your life. And I love that.
Well, thank you. It's one of our favorite things, and we've had life-changing habits that we continue to this day. So thank you for your take on the Business of Life Masterclass podcast. And before Debbie gets started on our podcast that is our 4 questions. What's one thing that you are super excited about in your life right now?
Okay, so I'm really leaning into this fire horse energy year and this movement around it. And I'm excited because one of my favorite things to do is to travel. And so this kind of taking action, I've been adding to my calendar really specific blocking dates off to go places, and sometimes it's international travel that I have planned, sometimes it's family, sometimes like I'm going to the East Coast to see clients and I'm extending for a long weekend in Miami. So just things that really are important to me, that light me up, that I'm taking action on. And then some internal things with my team are exciting. We're expanding and growing here, and then some personal growth that I'm working on. So all around movement.
Well, I love, and since you are excited about your travel and your team and all of the exciting things going on, what is one song that would be your life's walk up music? What would it be?
Okay, so I can't listen to this song and not start moving, not dancing. And it's a song from college. And we also used to play it when we were warming up at home games on the soccer field. And it's Ants Marching by Dave Matthews Band. And you guys probably know it, but like,
Yes,
does everybody know it? I don't know, but I love that song.
we definitely know that song. And yes, all the little ants are marching. I won't sing because I won't ruin the song for you. But that'll be a good one for us to bring back into it. So that's a great one. I'm smiling already because I'm also picturing you on the getting ready and playing that as a team. So see, we learn all these things about people. So I know our YouTube viewers can see it, not our listeners. Kari's here in this beautiful pink with this amazing art behind her, and her office is absolutely stunning. Barb and I got to go there when we invited Kari on, and she was kind enough to include us at an event. So I am laughing at the juxtaposition of this extreme luxury and then the fun, not that luxury isn't fun, but the ants marching. I'm just putting it all together. Like you said, makes you laugh, makes you smile.
Yes, yes.
All right, Kari, we are moving into the Business of Life Masterclass podcast 4. You know, these are the 4 questions we get to learn from with every single guest. So are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Number 1, what time do you get up in the morning, and what is your morning routine that gets your day started right?
Okay, Debbie, you're going to love this. I get up between 4:15 and 5 a.m., which I should start texting you. And I don't during your text chat. I don't get right out of bed. Actually, I get a red light mask and I put on a red light mask and do that therapy. And I put in earbuds and I listen to a guided meditation because I love to multitask. So I don't know if that counts, but for me, it does. And
yes.
I do, when I get up, the first thing I do is before I brush my teeth, I tongue scrape. And I'm only bringing this up because it is something life-changing. It's an ancient practice. It helps with digestion and immune system support. And it's something that I take it with me if I travel. Like it's something I can't not do. And then I drink a gallon of water a day. That's my just kind of barometer of water. And I really drink about a quarter of that in the morning before I drink coffee or anything else. I do journal. I do like to start my day with how it's going to go. And then I play with my dogs. Um, and then I heat up hot water. I heat up water and I put in a tablespoon of chia seeds, squeeze of lime, and a tablespoon of honey. And I let it just sit there for like 5 minutes. So the chia seeds soak it up. And I do drink that and then I work out. Like I drink that first and then I work out. And I have read research showing that it's really important for women to not work out fasted, which is what I always used to do. And so just adding something where you're not actually eating something, it's really easy. It's easy to digest. It's not a lot. And it has a little protein in there. So it's something easy to eat before I work out. And then I work out every morning. Right now I can't run because I'm navigating a knee injury, but I'll see you back out there soon.
Yes.
But Pilates, weightlifting, yoga, swimming, something to move my body. It's part of my life. I can't not do that. And then I can reward myself with coffee filled with creatine and creamer and collagen.
Right. Right. The reward. Yes. Well, interestingly, you know that some of our guests have said that about coffee, and I learned I'm allergic to coffee. And I never was a coffee drinker, but I did it for the follow-throughs. And yet that's one of those habits that I never was part of until the show. And now we learn I'm allergic. So, but we will see you back out there. And so the chia seed I'm interested in. All right. Number 2, what is something other than that morning routine, Kari, that you believe if other people would implement would be part of getting them on this extra umph? You know, as you said, hey, you learn these things, the tongue scraping. By the way, I used to do that and I made a note because we lost everything and I haven't had one this whole time.
So, yeah, you're not like, I should replace that immediately, but
yes.
Yeah.
So what's something other than that phenomenal morning routine you have that we can learn from that others can implement?
I believe the way our mindfulness and our thoughts, the way we speak to ourselves and each other creates our life. And it's related to having a gratitude practice and some of the things that we say. So I think a lot of times I stop myself from saying this. I've caught myself where we're like, oh, I'm so busy. Well, okay, well, now you're just busy. So changing that to, I'm so grateful for the work. And saying things that are just really positive. Like when I get up in the morning too, I'm like, today is going to be the best day ever, every day. And really speaking that into existence. And I know you talk so much in your real life and here about positivity and positive mindset. And I'm by nature sarcastic. So I think I was really like anti being so positive because I would like, it'd be something I would probably make fun of. And I realized that I could create that life or I could create this life. And so if we can just circle back to, we are the creator of our life and speak those words into existence, all of those words matter. All of those thoughts matter. And I think 90% of our thoughts are about the past or the future, and like 80% of them are negative, and then like 40% of statistics are made up on the spot. But or 42. So there's all this research that shows we're not even present. And so gratitude comes with being present. And then when we are thinking, we're not even thinking things that are great for us. So just really the mindset around all of those things, we have so much control over it. So just mindfulness, thoughts, words.
Mindfulness. And listeners, please take that to heart that you just heard somebody tremendously successful, Kari, you know, from start to finish and as she's in her life right now. And yet said, you know, I would have made fun of this before and I changed. So I take a big part of that as your humility and your vulnerability to share that when somebody makes a change, it doesn't mean what you did before was wrong. It means you're doing something different now. That's all it means, everybody. So you can make changes and not have to apologize for how you were before. So number 3, Kari, who or what has been the biggest influence in your life and what have you done with that influence?
So I am so fortunate. My parents are married for 53 years this year. They're still together. They're alive. They're close by. They're in South Carolina. And I had a great foundation. And then I've had great coaches and I've had great leaders. And I think this question is a moving, right? So it's like it would have been someone different maybe 20 years ago. And I had this realization in 2019. I was actually my mentor at the time was my business partner and had been, and we were going through an uncoupling in November of 2019. And I went to a yoga class with my friend, and she was like, "Can you come to celebrate I'm cancer free, and all the money for the class is going to be donated for cancer research." And I was like, "Absolutely." And I didn't take yoga seriously at all. I actually did a 30-mile bike ride the morning of the hot power yoga class. That's how much I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to yoga." And I go to the class, and it's at Kotowari with Annette Scott, who's the owner, and she always does a Dharma talk prior to the class. And she said, she curses, but I won't. She said, "It's going to be hot in here, and the heat is going to irritate."
She's very direct.
Yeah, you want to tee that up in case people go and they're like, "What? Oh my God, I thought this was yoga." It still is. And she said that the heat's going to irritate your skin. And as she kept talking, I just had tears. I was like, "Oh my God, like yoga's way harder than I thought." Just tears coming out of my eyes. And she was explaining how yoga on the mat is a metaphor for how we show up in our life. And our practice is how we react and respond. And it was one of the most difficult times for me, which I didn't give enough weight and credence to at that time. And then I had to reset up my entire business, from the DBA to the signage to physically moving to setting up at a new location. And I did that. And then it was 2020. And all of a sudden, being in finance in the midst of this financial crisis with everything. And I mean, I'm doing the same business that I've been doing for, 20, almost 5 years, but still it was all of those things starting in a new spot, then with this impact. And I started going back to yoga. I was like, "I'm going to come back." That was November. I started back in April of 2020, and I've continued to go. And so for me right now, Annette has been one of the most impactful people in my life, because it's a reflection of how do I want to show up every day, no matter what is happening and what is irritating my XYZ, not just my skin.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that, and the evolution of how mentors and influence changes. And also, we'll invite Annette on. I'm in very close contact with Annette too. And Barb and I have been to Kotowari and Revivery. And one time, Barb, we talked about inviting Annette to see if she would be kind enough to spend time. And then we got away from it. So you will inspire us to ask Annette to be on the show. Now, we will want to temper a little bit, as you said.
Yeah. I'm going to go tomorrow to her class. So I'm going to see her. And I just bid on a package. I was at a charity event at Go Red for Women, and I just won the Revivery. There's for 12 guests. So
yes, we love those.
Okay, so now you two are on the list.
Fabulous. We will happily join in. Happily join in. So yes, now. Anyway, we will definitely talk more about that. So thank you so much. All right. Last question in the podcast that we focus on positivity at the same time in these master classes. And it would probably be great if at some point your time and your interest permit to do something like you've done that we got to be part of, where you share some things about finance for women. We would love that. What is something you notice that's less than positive that people are doing? And if they would stop doing it, Kari, you believe they would be in a better place?
So I do think, especially for women, I wish women will speak positively about how they see themselves financially. I hear women so many times say things like, "I'm not good at this. I don't know what I'm doing." And then they show me all the things they're doing. I'm like, "You're doing amazing. Like, this is everything that you should be doing." And why is that the thought? And I think we're taught so much that we have to be doing it all and perfectly dressed and hair done and everything. Like, everything has to be perfect. And so it's either one extreme where it's like, I'm doing all these things, or another extreme. And I feel the weight of this so much where I'm like, I don't want to add another thing to your to-do list because I know you're carrying the bigger part of the load of everything that happens at home. So I don't want to add something. However, at some point in your life, there is a very good chance you will be solely in charge of your finances. And I want you to feel really confident about what you do know, because you're running a household and that's a CEO job, and you're doing that and you're doing it really well. And I want you to say things like, I have abundance. I'm really good with money. I understand where my money goes, and I am wealthy.
Yes. Yes, that's powerful and empowerment right there. So thank you for that. And I don't know how you feel about this. And certainly if you disagree, please say it. I like to remind people, please don't say you can't afford something. Say, that's not something I'm investing in right now. Does that
Yeah.
work? Okay.
I love to spin everything into a like a way of receiving it. If that's something that you want to attract, then yes. And if you're like in that scarcity mindset, then that is what
Right.
you're creating as well. And those are choices we can make. And sometimes I feel like there's some shame around those choices where you're like, oh, I can't say that I bought this designer handbag or that I went on this luxury vacation. Like, good, do all of those things. Save money, please. Make sure that we are saving and mindful and investing and creating this beautiful future. But also, please enjoy your wealth and the work and the
Mm-hmm.
effort and the journey and the life. Like, there's so many beautiful things to see. Please see them. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Carrie. I feel so energized. And a couple of the things that I am going to put into my morning routine right away, red light. So I'm obsessed with the red light, and I never thought of using it in the morning. I know Debbie, you are too, and you were the catalyst for me getting a red light. Tongue scraper. I've only used my toothbrush, so I'm absolutely going to do that. And then the hot water, chi, honey, lime, all the things. So Debbie, are you willing to embrace these? I know you are, but your list. Oh, and a yoga class. We're going to do a yoga class.
I
We've
did
done the
put,
cold plunge and the sauna. We're going to do a yoga class together.
we can do that at Kodawari. We'll go down
Yes.
for that. And yes, I wrote the same things, the chia seeds, lime, and honey. I've not heard that it's not good for women to work out fasted. So I'm going to implement that and see how that works over time, as well as ants marching. I mean, I'm just smiling that I think I'm going to play that, and I put yoga. So we're on the same page with that. Absolutely.
All right,
Yes.
Carrie, we would love for you to elaborate on your move in high school.
So when I moved, my family, I have a huge family. So I'm one of four kids, but my oldest sister has 9 children, and the oldest one is pregnant with her second child, and the second one is getting married. The oldest one's 23, she'll be 24 in June. And then my brother has 4 children. The youngest was just born in February, so I'm going to see him in next month. And then my youngest sister has 5 children. So the family is huge. And my parents, like their number one value is family. So when I kind of got to make this decision, and my older sister was going to college the next year. My mom was listing the house. My dad had to move. And my grandmother sold her house and moved in with my mom or parents, and she lived with us for the next 20 years, which was amazing. And then my little sister had to stay with my mom. So had this pivotal choice where my dad was like, if my parents were like, if we move halfway through the year, you're coming and you're going to miss both soccer seasons. And I was a cheerleader, and that was more of my, like, I like to be a cheerleader and less of being a soccer player. But I knew that soccer was important, and I didn't realize that this would be a really important decision because the seasons are at 2 different times. And I think in hindsight, I could have talked them in to letting me stay. But the fact that I moved and that soccer became such an important part of my life, and I coached soccer after I graduated for a year as well, and then realizing all of the tools that I learned with coaching were really important. But then from a family dynamic standpoint, my mom has said her side of the story of like, It was so hard for me to be your mom and feel so far away at this such an important time of your life. Like all her kids are gone all of a sudden. Like our whole life just changed. We
Right.
had this really like leave it to beavery kind of family. So a lot of lessons were learned during that time and a lot of growing up happened really as well. And my brother and I became very, very close and that really bonded us for
It's a pivotal time and you made the
yeah.
most of it. But look at all that came out of it. So I know you believe in this movement all around. So we'll leave our listeners with that. And thank you again. So as we get ready to say goodbye, what would be your walk off music? Since we know we've got ants marching to start, what's the mic drop?
We're gonna end it with Katy Perry Roar.
Okay. Yeah, that fits. That definitely fits. All right. So now we know we've got ants marching and then we're roaring to leave. So thank you so much. And for our listeners, we really appreciate it. Please know, everyone, you can stay connected with Kari. So it's Kari LaRocco. So KariLarocco on all social media under her name. Also, though, please follow LaRocco and Associates. They do these female spotlights. They give lots of tips and tools, really good content. Similarly, you can follow Barb and me on Instagram and Facebook at the Business of Life Masterclass. Barb is the Stay at Work Mom, and I'm Debbie Lundberg on most platforms.
If you like the insights that you heard, please rate us 5 stars. We are committed to providing you with 5-star guests just like Kari. Please do provide us feedback. We do implement it, and stay tuned for our follow-through show next week where you learn how Debbie and I did implementing Kari's ideas. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Business of Life Masterclass, the podcast for successful people embracing every chance to accomplish and experience all you can in business and in life.
Listen, choose, do. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you have ever thought, gosh, I'd like a collaborator, I wonder what else I could do, it's likely that the answer is a coach. Hi, I'm Debbie Lundberg, Performance and Mindset Coach with Presenting Powerfully. And if you would like confidential coaching to drive you to the next idea, the next role, or even to figure out your own brand, please reach out to us at Presenting Powerfully, 813-494-4438. Thank you.